Hey, yes, it is I, your Lord and Savior. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm just somebody that's a nobody doing some painting, probably. As you can see here, I try to get something painted and dried in advance, so I'm not like scrambling around like a headless chicken. But then I realized, what am I painting on this? I don't know. I was like, wait, I forgot. So this is me still scrambling, and I don't know what to paint on this. I think this is more appropriate for this month because it's still November. They still involve pumpkins, so this is fine. Yet, as you can see here, Christmas decorations have been encroaching into my November territory, so I am not really fully invested because, especially in the US, we are grown up to believe like right after Halloween is just straight up Christmas, but let's go eat something in November anyway while we wait. Because Black Friday happens and we can start hoarding all the extra Christmas presents, and I mean presents for ourselves. I mean presents. And then Christmas can continue on with its stuff. But yeah, I did not I was looking for a whole bunch of photos to and references to paint. I hoard a lot of reference photos. Okay, so I get really, really indecisive on what to put on there. And I already did the Cheshire Cat last time. And then I also have been working on, well, this is more for a practice run because I struggle with painting water. This was not a good way to do it, but I already did something, and for some reason, the color here is not as good as it is in real life. While I'm looking at it right now, it looks great, but for some reason, maybe it's these lights that are washing it out. But it's not. It's okay. I need to start something because I can ramble on and not stop. Um, but I need to figure out what the heck I'm painting on here. And I don't know. Okay, stop crying. Wait, where is? I had another one of the wreath. I painted it and put, oh, here it is. I might also work on this because I saw some Sanrio things. So, like I think I mentioned on Instagram that, oh, sorry, I do a lot of detailed work, but I cannot do it all the time or I get so burnt out easily. This counts as detailed work. So I tend to crash and want to do something cute, do something cute, paint something like, I mean, I didn't make it, but I will paint over it. So this is from Daiso, and they had like this, they have chubby figurines like these guys, or I love this stuff. And then they light up. Very, very cute. However, the paint job, because they're mass produced, they are quite rough. So these are this is an idea for those of you who don't want to make things from scratch. I understand you guys, okay? I don't want to make things from scratch all the time. My hands are not exactly, ironclad. They're like made out of putty. But what I do is buy these. Just be careful. You can get out of hand and buy a whole bunch of them. I mean, my Halloween stash was pretty awful, but you can buy one of these figurines and just custom paint whatever the heck you want on them, and that's totally fine. And what are these? I think they're $1.50. That's pretty. I mean, it used no, wait, it was $1. No, it was $1.50. Now it's $1.75. But even if there is a quarter up, that's pretty good. Okay, better than you go to freaking Michael's or Walmart even sometimes, or Hallmark, and you want to repaint certain things. And these are not like super like well known brands. It's just a generic like, oh, here's a bear. Oh, there's a Santa. Oh, here's a reindeer. Yeah, so you can just paint on these and not have to think so hard. But then you have like, what the heck do I color this? And you don't even have to see. Here's the thing: they all kind of look the same. And I did have an option to change it, but I was sick this month, so I was like, and last month as well. So I was like, oh, okay, what's up with that? Okay, so now I will probably bodies are kind of too much. And I also have to make sure with this kind of stuff, I have to make sure it will sit upright properly. If I don't do it properly, it looks stupid. And then I screwed up and it's my fault and I will hit my head on the wall. Just kidding. I'm not. So, okay. Okay, so I see in one of the references, Sanrio character heads on a wreath. I could go for bodies, but like I said, I don't want to do detail things, detail, super crazy details right now. I'm tired. So I need to start jumping back with easy stuff. So this is what I do when I want to get back into my art routine. I have to start easy. If I just jump into this, which I did do, don't do what I did. You're not going to want to paint anymore. So I stopped. I will continue a little bit, but right now I'm like, let's keep it easy. So, but sometimes our definition of easy versus another person's definition of easy, it's not going to match. So this is my version of easy, and you really don't have to do this, okay? This is just me being a little bit much. Okay, so they have mainstream characters, Hello Kitty, Pom Pom Pudding, My Melody. I'm going to switch that up. So I originally was going to put someone in here, but then I went crazy and decided to do something else. Okay, so I will, of course, put the Zashiki Buddha because he is my go-to character forever and ever and ever and ever. I don't want to get into jokes about that kind of stuff later on, but, and it does not have to be super perfect. I mean, it would help, but I don't have to. I just need an idea like who is going to be where. And then I guess Tuxedo Sam. Another option is I do like a whole bunch of like the same characters, like a different kind of pig on here. That would be kind of cute, but it might be a little repetitive. So Tuxedo Sam it is. And as I was doing this first draft of this painting, I realized I'm not gonna like this color, so I'll probably go the pastel route again, unfortunately. I thought I was gonna let's go traditional. Then I realized I don't like it. So I will paint over this again. So you do have a grace period on changing your mind. Just make sure you don't change your mind too much. It's annoying. Let's see. So oh, I can do Hollyberry. That'd be cute. Hell. I think I did that in one of my crafts, but I forgot. And then he had a little hat. I mean, he always had this hat, but let's give him stuff. Okay, so there's that. Zashiki Buddha, maybe a little scarf. I don't know. And a tiny, oh, right. You can do a little beret sort of thing. Yeah, that'd be, yeah. Okay, that's kind of cute. Next character, I don't know. After these two, I'm like, who do I put on here next? I don't know. There's Spotty Dotty. There's the thing is there's a lot of birds. That's why I was like, oh, okay. So Spotty Dotty, Hangyudan. Okay, maybe Hangyudan. I like Hangyudan. But he is also kind of popular lately. I'm surprised. There's some people who really hate Hangyudan. I don't understand it. I mean, okay, I kind of get it. His look is not very conventional in the kawaii department, but he's still cute. What's wrong with that? I mean, and he wants to be an actor or some other. And I was like, all right. He has some hopes and dreams. What's wrong with that? But I think because of his mouth, it's very wide. And he's a fish monster. And that's not exactly considered cute by the cute standards, but if you see Japan's mascots, not all of them are always cute. So I do appreciate that they go outside of the box of the standard cute. They are willing to try something else. And Hangyudan is something else. And I do like the fact that he has aqua colors. I also like aqua colors. So that also works for me. But right now he's not looking cute. He's like, what the hell is, why am I born here? Anyway. Next up, I guess Spotty Dotty. I always try to throw her in once in a while. Just because they have a bag for her at Hot Topic, and I don't like buying at Hot Topic because it just seems like I'm too old for that. But sometimes they have things that like I grew up with that, and so they sucker you into buying that stuff. So I was like, crap. But Once in a while, it's okay, but I know that the last store that I know of in the other county, not in San Francisco, they closed down. They finally closed down. I was like, wow, they held on as much as they did, but they finally closed down. And so I think they could only do online shopping if you live here in this state, but it's kind of sad that a lot of shops are just closing down left and right. Malls are dying. They said malls are dying. Yeah, that's kind of true. But the one near where I live, it's going well. They even had like an arcade that recently opened, but it's not easy to get in. The entrance inside the mall, they say don't go in through here. You go through the other side. And I'm like, where's the other side? And I have to navigate around that. I'm like, ugh. So that's like one major downside of trying to go to the new place where they they circle jerk you around to another area. I'm like, I don't want to go there. I'll just go home. So I save myself money. I shouldn't have said circle jerk, but it felt like that. Like you could just go in the store in the mall, but no, they don't want you to go through there. It's like, why not? It's easy from there. But no, they don't want you to do that. So sometimes the city, while I want to be loyal to it, sometimes they do some stupid fuck shit and it pisses me off. So yeah. Anyway, I'll try to get over it. Barely. I think the ears should be a little longer, but let's just leave that for now. So we got 4 characters. Then Mr. Bear's Dream. Okay, I always put Mr. Bear's Dream in there once in a while. I think he's cool. There's also Roberta. Because yeah, these 3 are boys. This one's a girl. I should probably throw in another girl, but there's Winky Pinky. There's Maroon Cream, but she's also kind of popular too. I'm trying not to put as much popular characters, but no promises. I'm sorry. I think he's like this. He's very basic looking, but it's okay. But I like the style that they gave him. It's like kind of mature. Like dark blues, crimson reds, plaid, however we pronounce it. Like, wow, okay, all right, it's fancy much. And or Christmas green or evergreen, whatever, dark greens. That's pretty fancy for little kid stuff. Same with Vaudeville Duo. Don't let me geek out on that stuff. Okay, last character. I don't know. Let me think. The other, oh no, there's another bear. Blah. Winky Pinky is maybe, but she's also brown. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. Mimi. Okay, I'll put Hello Kitty's sister. I always feel bad for her because she can never be holding her own unless Hello Kitty's in the background. Like, what are you doing? I am the main character. You know, I feel bad for Mimi because she is the twin sister of Hello Kitty, and yet she cannot really. And they characterize her as being extra shy, so she does not want to be alone. So that gives them an excuse to have Hello Kitty right behind her, making sure that she don't stray away and trying to steal the spotlight. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just it does make kind of sense though. Like come on, man, let her. I have yet to see her have her own merchandise. I feel bad for her. Like even the weird cat, Charmy Kitty, like Hello Kitty's pet cat, has her own merchandise. I'm like, how come she gets to have that but not Mimi? Okay, so sorry, that's me geeking out here. That's the peak of my geeking out. Okay, so we have. What fell? Lately, I keep dropping things and it drives me nuts because I have to bend over to pick it up, or I have to squish my tummy and pick it up. Anyway, so as I hang it like this, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Only thing is, I don't know what to put in the middle. And then there's supposed to be well, maybe I could just tie a ribbon on here instead of making a ribbon drawn. Okay. And they have little candies all over the place. So let's throw in candy and balls. Candy and balls. Candy and balls. What the heck? Okay, so I'm just going to sketch it out for now. I will not go into the painting. I'm trying to do several projects at the same time because that's what I do. And yeah, pull the poinsettia thingies. Okay, I'm just going to... The good thing about pencils is I just do fuck shit and I just make a big old mess and that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's lollipops. Well, it could be peppermint candies too. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the reference as to what they're putting on here. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is, but I'll figure something out. Okay. Oh, and there's a ribbon. Okay, I see. I see what you did. Okay, so here's my sketch right now. Not too bad. Maybe I can make this into a reel. What I do is instead of always making videos, I can take pictures. But I do record some process like the painting, not all of it. I no. I like doing more shorter content because let's be honest, a lot of us have short attention spans. And to watch a whole freaking video about it, unless you like me a lot, and you probably don't, that's sad, but that's why I need to grab the attention within a few seconds. So that's what I know that's what I try to think. That's my mindset, I guess. And so anyway, so there's this one. Now, what else is there? I can resume this one. I did try painting this one. It's not looking so good. And it left a doo-doo stain. I'm sorry. And then it's not turning out as well as I want. I might change the color. I thought, oh, just make it a little lighter. Okay. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, they keep saying on reels that there's a bomb cyclone heading towards the west. Oh. I'm like, yeah, it is, but it's more up north. Where I'm at, we're like kind of the lower half, but we're technically in the middle of the state. But we get some runoff of the bomb cyclone thingy going on, but it's more towards like more northern California, Oregon, Washington, and some part of Western Canada. So I'm sorry if you guys are getting the worst of the worst, but yeah, we only have the baby version. So I think while there are some complaints, it's a lot better than whatever's going on further north. So I hope you guys take care of yourselves wherever you are. And then what else am I doing? Oh, I remember last weekend. Well, I'm sorry, I can talk. Last Wednesday when I brought up that freaking Mike Tyson and that other guy fight. Woo, that was rigged as hell. Rigged. And I'm quite glad that Netflix kicked us out, did not want us to watch it because everyone was struggling to watch it. I had relatives trying to watch it from freaking Canada. I had, I think one of my relatives nearby, but another county, they're trying to watch it and they said, oh, it's so bad. Like, oh, I guess, yeah, they have better quality Netflix than us. And so they managed to watch some more of the fight than I did while ours just got stuck at the title card. That was it. Or we saw the intro and then it died and then we gave up. That's how bad it was. Like, geez, what? But then when we did get some highlights of the fight, it was so sad. Not sad as in, oh, I'm sorry, he got hurt. No, it was more like people spent money for this. Holy crap. And people did. I think especially when they saw like the what was it? Oh, this brush. I shouldn't have used this one. When they showed Tyson doing his training, and he looked like he's got something going on, and then we saw butt cheeks and stuff. I was like, no, that's not what we paid for. And then it, from what I saw from the highlights, it was not showing what he was doing in the training versus what he was showing in the actual fight, it ain't it. It ain't it. It ain't. That's how bad it was. And yeah, everyone got scammed. Even those who didn't pay a dang thing, they got scammed. That's how bad it was. You feel scammed for not paying for it. You still feel scammed. Like, you wasted my time. I want my time back. Give it back, So, but I still feel bad for those a little bit. The ones who actually shelled out a whole bunch of money on Tyson because they thought we were going to get a freaking show. It was not a show. It was an embarrassment. I'm so glad I did not watch all of that. I would have been more enraged for wasting my time. So thank you, Netflix, for conking out on us and not letting us watch that atrocity that they displayed on the freaking screen. Thank you for malfunctioning when we were trying to bypass it. And not to mention, they were showing it live on YouTube, but then turns out it's not allowed. You're not supposed to be watching it. You're supposed to watch it straight up on Netflix. But like, what if you don't have Netflix? What if the Netflix you have, if someone else keeps using it? But thankfully, I did have Netflix, so I was like trying to check it out. But no, it wasn't working. Was not working. And then it was for the best. We ain't missing much. It was so, oh my God. Okay, so I will not bring that stuff up too much. Just what a waste of time. I'm glad that I did not watch the entire fight, but I knew some people who did, and they're like, oh, why did I watch that? So I was like, oh, okay. Thank frick that I did not have the opportunity, and my malfunctioning internet was doing me a freaking favor. Doing me a freaking favor. Let's see what else. Blah 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 blah. Oh, recently I've been watching walking tours that they record online in different parts of Europe, mainly Norway, Germany, Austria, and Italy. They look pretty nice. And I was like, oh, why should I even bother going on a trip when I could just watch it online? But you the part of that is to try to entice you to want to go to these countries and to see what's the big whoop and try their food, see how the social culture is, even though I'm antisocial, so I'm not sure if that really benefits me as a person, but you know, intrigued minds want to know. But at the same time, it does save you a lot of money to be like, to see what's going on there. And like, you just watch it on YouTube. So I can understand why some people will be like, why bother shelling out so much money to go on a plane ride when I just watch it on my friggin' screen and save me so much money? That's true. That is ridiculously, embarrassingly true. But at the same time, you only have one life. You might as well see what's going on the other side once in a while, or other countries, not just Europe. All right. But at the same time, prices ain't cheap. People have some nerve to say money is not the problem. The problem is you don't want to go. Like, money is the problem. Okay. It adds up, especially when you don't even include the hotel, extra features you need for your loved ones, that when they need something there, they don't like loud noises, they want easy access to some kitchen supplies if they want to save money on cooking. Because I do know that a lot, like when we try to book a hotel in Hawaii, a lot of them we notice don't have a kitchen area because they assume as a tourist you don't want to cook. I am the tourist, I don't want to cook, but because we save money from it, I'm the designated cook, unfortunately. So we try to look for kitchen options, like you can have your own stove, you can bake things and make sure you don't burn things, but you save a lot of money. You don't have to keep buying at the restaurant and paying tips like crazy over there. But because they assume most tourists do not want to be cooking on their vacation, there is always a lack of kitchen options, and you can go to their cafe or restaurant on the main ground floor, and that's like even more money. So we try to do other things like have the option to cook, At the same time, I don't look forward to it because I'm the one who's always cooking. Like, I don't want to cook. Can you cook? I don't want to cook. But it's not like we cook every time. We do have like maybe a night or two that we go to have dinner, or a very light, easy dinner, or instant food that microwave. Another thing some people don't have in the hotels, they don't have microwaves. They again assume you're going to pay for your food at restaurants, so they try to make it easy for you by not having extra things. But if you want to reheat your food and not get sick, it'd be great to have a freaking microwave. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, traveling and wanting to see more of the world, it takes money, and not just money. You also have to be somewhat knowledgeable of the country, especially if they don't speak English as a first language. It is good to have some kind of um, idea of the language, or at least practice a little bit. Though I know, especially in America, we're not encouraged to learn other languages, especially when people come here and they speak another like you can go, so many stories about that where we go back to where that awful stuff. But their English is better than whatever the language. I mean, we cannot speak whatever language they say, so their English is better than our skills in another language. So we should not be laughing. I don't laugh at that stuff. Okay, I feel I not just envy, but I also admire them that they can even speak another language. Some of them speak 3 languages or 4. I'm like, what the heck? Jealous, yes, but a good jealous, I think. Okay, so what else am I doing here? But yeah, I look at them and it's around the Christmas time and they show them in winter and I'm like, oh, winter. I'm not a big fan of winter, but I do like that it looks pretty. But while it looks pretty versus being there and cold are 2 totally different things for me. So I like to admire from afar the winter scene, the Christmas scene, but to actually walk in the snow and wear layers upon layers and I look like a ball. I don't look good in winter outfits, mind you. So, and then, I sweat a lot, so it's not fun. And yeah, so I rather enjoy in this situation. I don't mind enjoying a tourist walk online in the winter while not having to go outside and experience the winter, because the winter here is baby weather compared to other parts of the world that actually have really cold negative temperatures. So yeah, I I'll just enjoy from afar for the time being. um Let me see what else I can talk about. Well, if you notice from, I don't know if you're watching these religiously, please don't watch this religiously. Maybe if you're sick and you got nothing else to watch, by all means, you can. I have a playlist, but you really don't have to. Please don't. Um, I noticed from my feed or my content of these live streams while I do these art things. Oh, come on, camera, let's cooperate, please. Please, please, please. Thank you. I noticed that I don't like talking about art things. You would think, oh, you're an artist, you should live and breathe and be art. It's your identity. No, it's not. No, it's not. I think it's because I'm not an art major, funny enough. Um, I took this, well, I think originally I meant to do that, but then I was not able to get the classes because a lot of them were favored over first year students, and I was a transfer at the university I went to. So I did not have the opportunity to continue being an art student, but at the same time, I did not really see much worth learning. And a lot of the stuff that I do, I eyeball things and look at references and maybe see a random tutorial here and there, give or take. But then most of this is self-taught, and some people balk at that. Like, what do you mean self-taught? You learned it from someone at some point. Yes, but it's very minimal. And the last time I heard from them, that was like maybe over 25 years ago. That's how rare it is. So I'm going to say most of the stuff I do is self-taught. So some people get really snobby and technical about it. So I'm like, ew. And then sometimes how some artists speak, because I have not been around other artists, like I mentioned, I think I mentioned either here on Instagram, I don't have in real life on art friends. So when I do encounter some online and how they talk, I don't think I can get along. Not that they're bad people, it's just how they talk and what their mindset is versus how I talk and where my situation is. They're very different things. And I don't want to clash too hard. And it's not their fault. It's not my fault. It's just we're very different, apparently. And so even when how they talk about art, they actually know what they're talking about. As for me, I'm like, I don't know. Let's do this. That's that's how I am. It's embarrassing. And I also don't want to come off as an idiot. And that's another thing. I don't like being considered an idiot, but everyone's stupid at some point. That's how I approach things, and that's fine. But when people talk to you like you're an idiot, that really irks the hell out of me. But I know when it's my fault and I made the mistake. Okay, tell me how to fix it, and then they don't tell you. Then, like, why are you saying anything if you don't know how to solve the problem? Okay. So anyway, like with art things, I did have some knowledge. I went to art history class. I fell asleep in art history class. I still passed that class. It wasn't often that I slept. It was like maybe once or twice, and then that's it. But I am not as, what's the word? Not motivated. Passionate. I'm not as passionate about art. Like you live and breathe art, and art is your identity. It's your brand. It's your everything. It's your life. I'm not like that. I just like, oh, this looks nice. Let's see how I do this, and then just go from there. That's it. That's the general. Or I don't see that character that often. I would like to see more of this character. I don't see fan art of this character. Let's make some art for that character. That's what I do. That's basically it. Or let's do some fuck shit. Sometimes I do that, but I don't do that often. But sometimes I do notice that those are more popular than the stuff that I take myself seriously in. So I might do some fuck shit art just because it's funny and it's good. It's a good release for me. I don't have to be serious all the time and blah blah. This is art, and sometimes to some degree, art can be kind of boring. It can be boring. I can admit that it can be boring. It also cannot make. It also might not make sense, and I don't like that one too much because, like, why did you make this? But if you have a reason, like, well, I felt like fuck shit, blah, 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 okay, then at least you know where it came from. But then if you're just, total cash grab or you're gonna make up some weird, unnecessary story, I don't know. I don't have time for that. And so I have a hard time talking about art things. So a lot of the times when I'm doing this, I don't like, this is my process of doing this. I don't do that because I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. I don't. And I try to figure things out. That's basically it. And this time around, I don't know. I actually do have a reference for this, but I don't feel like taking it out right now. I don't feel like it. And I'm probably messing it up as I am online. That's not fine, but oh well. But yes, I do have a hard time talking about art things. And when I do try to talk about art things, I try to make it make sense for everyone, not just a select subgroup. Like, oh, I know what that is, and everyone else doesn't understand. Like, I don't like jargon. I don't like excluding people out and not letting them know what's going on, unless it's an inside joke with a friend. And I don't have that many of those, so yes. But I would like to have people understand what the heck I'm doing. But when I'm just doing this for fun and this is what I do, I don't have an explanation. It does get confusing. So I understand that my method is a little bit unorthodox. It's not very common, but at the same time, it makes the most sense for me when there's not much sense in the beginning. So I don't know. But I do have a lot of fun doing this. And I liked figuring things out when it works in my favor, but it does not always turn out that way. I do have mistakes. I do change my mind a lot as I get older, I realized. And I also have to compromise with my situation as a mother. So I always have to make sure I am open to getting out of my chair and helping out whoever needs help. A lot of people I notice don't like making such compromise. Like, this is my art. I don't want it to be taken away from me, or their hobby or this and that. Um, no one's taking it away from you. Only you take it away from you. You have the choice to make that time. If you want to make that time, the time is there. But it's within reason, of course. You have to balance it. You cannot just do art things and neglect feeding your child. Don't do that. You also have to bear in mind of your time scheduling. Like, make sure you do your hobbies and you pick up your kid. Make sure you do the hobbies and you don't forget their baseball game or whatever they have as a activity you have to join. So you have to always remind yourself you have important things to take care of while you have your hobby. But some people cannot do that. So they have to give it up entirely. And I understand that. So I cannot say you can, no, you can do your hobbies. Not all the time. I understand, especially if you have more kids. I only have one kid. For those who have like 4, 5, 6 kids, etc. kids, okay, maybe the window to having a hobby is very, very narrow. So I'm sorry for that. But, and then, yeah, by the time you can do hobbies, I think they have to be like 18 years and out of the house. And that's a long time. So I am quite thankful that I do have this chance to keep continuing doing art as a hobby at all. If I did this as a career, I think that would be a lot more stressful for me. I don't think I can handle that. I'm a big wimp baby, okay? I do what I can, plus I'm not entirely the most healthiest person, so I can admit that. But I am thankful that I do have the chance to do what I do now. But I do know that some people don't like the process of doing art things, and you don't get good results instantly. People are impatient, especially with the internet world, and you can just do AI. Just do AI. They can do the art for you. I don't have to think that much. Just do AI. But where is the joy in that, where you actually make something with I see this is the thing with me in my own hands. I like making things with my own hands, and I like, I guess, the sense of achievement that I did this by myself. I mean, you don't have to be like, I have to create everything from my head. You don't have to do that. Okay. You can, but it's a lot harder. But if you just want to see, you want a picture and apply it to like a canvas or some kind of surface area, or you don't even want to make the thing from scratch. You could just paint over with, a figurine that the paint job's not the best, but you paint over, you custom paint a figurine. That's totally fine. Just do whatever makes you happy and doesn't harm other people and animals and property damage. Do not do that. So, it's fine. It's fine. Just, it varies. It also depends on the situation. I cannot say everyone, you can, but you also have a life. You also have families. You also have work, social life, if you do. That's the other thing. I don't have a social life, so this helps me a lot. But totally get into art. I encourage anyone can do it, but it takes time and patience. If you want to succumb to using AI, just bear in mind that people that find out, they're not going to be happy about it, especially those who are also in the art community and they find out you're making art with AI. Approach with caution. Plus, a lot of the AI generated stuff, it's a whole amalgamation or collection of other artists' work that they took from the ether, I guess, online ether. So just bear in mind that it is technically a kind of stealing. So it's okay to do references. Just give them credit where credit's due. Acknowledge that, oh, I found this on Pinterest, and then they did not have the name, but I want to let them know that it's not my original work, but you can find it on there. But if I do see the name, I will put it there. Just make that acknowledgement to the bare minimum. And that I do make a disclaimer that the stuff I paint is mostly for fun and practice and to challenge myself for the heck of it, because why not? Sorry, I was talking a lot. But yeah, with art talks, I'm not very good at that just because I don't have I'm not very good at talking about art. I mean, I can look at it, but if you start asking me questions about like, what do you think this means? I'm like, I assume he wants pie, and it has nothing to do with it. And then I get the what the F face. So, yeah. So I'm not very good at museums, art museums, but it's like, okay, all right, that's cool. And then, but if you're going to start talking to me about such things, oh my gosh, I'm going to sound like a big dimwit. And the last thing I want to do in a public setting is to look and sound like a dimwit. So I try to keep my mouth shut in certain settings where I don't have to talk because I'm going to sound stupid. I know. But I like to look at them. What I don't like sometimes are the modern art where it doesn't make any sense or they do weird things and I don't understand. Like the ones that I see on Reels sometimes, I'm like, what is that? What are you doing with your life? But people give them money. That's what irks the hell out of me. Why do you keep giving them money if what they're doing is just worse than fuck shit? They're just, that's it. It's diarrhea all over the place. And people give them money. What also annoys me is people, they have a display of nothing or a canvas with nothing on it. People have been giving artists that do nothing money in the thousands, like $18,000, $21,000 for a canvas full of nothing. I don't know if that pisses you off, but that irks the hell out of me. Okay, but that's my really big tip. At least when they're doing nothing, like throwing paint on a canvas, at least that's something, the bare minimum of something. But when there's nothing and people are still getting money for it, the levels of my head. It's like, why do I bother? And so that means I need to take a break from the reels when I'm starting to get a little, not so much triggered, but like irritated that people that just put nothing on a canvas and just throw it out there into the ether, into the world, and they get thousands of dollars for it. That is quite upsetting, right? It's not just me, right? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the heck maybe I can do a pastel version of that. I try not to make different things on here, but sometimes I try to dabble, but not too much. I'm trying to look for different paints, and I'm not doing so well. 42 minutes already? Okay. So I will change this a little bit. Sorry. Yep, that's ugly. Yeah, multitasking is fun. Because while things are waiting to dry, I do other things at the same time. So I get some more stuff covered. Though it takes a bit longer for me, but at least I'm getting stuff done in general, I suppose. God, I have to make phone calls later this week, and I'm not looking forward to it. I hate phone calls. I hate being put on hold, and then I have to repeat what I told the last person, especially if I'm redirected to somewhere else, because I got the wrong number and like, oh, this is the wrong department. You have to go over here. Please hold. I was like, oh, I hate that. But you can't do much of anything because you're on hold and you want to get this dang thing over the phone done and over with. Let's see. Black Myth Wukong. New game update. I finished chapter 3. I'm in chapter 4 now. I tried to make sure that I got all of the stuff as much as I can, but even the ones I did not get, the bare minimum, I think it's not too much of a problem. I can still go back to the other chapters and get this stuff again. But I'm pretty sure I got most, if not all, of the chapter 3 extra things. Chapter 4, I'm trying to get that one quest where you have to get the talismans for that. I think she's the fourth sister. I forgot. But I'm trying to finish all of the tasks there. But sometimes it's that level is freaking confusing. So I was spinning in circles for a good 20 minutes. So again, I'm not going to record every single part I do just because you're not, I forgot how that level was. So I got lost again. But the parts where I will try not to, I will try to record, I will mostly be boss fights or certain areas that I did not cover. I think there's, yeah, the talisman side quest, and then that weird guy side quest in that purple mountain secret secret area. I didn't do that one, but they said that's not necessary. But I want to finish the Yaogwai journal to get all of those Yaogwais and put them in my freaking book. I am a collector. Okay, not really, but okay. I kind of am, but not a very good one. Okay. And what I like about painting over these figurines, I don't have to do anything from scratch. It's like already there. There's already a cute shape, but the painting is kind of questionable and quite rushed. And what better way to fix it than yourself? Do it yourself. But sometimes you have to pay attention to some of the areas, like these small areas here where the ribbon is. It's like, oh gosh. And so you're going to be painting over certain areas repeatedly just to make sure everything's clean, which can be kind of annoying. But if you're patient and have nothing better to do like I do, then you're good to go. But again, like because of internet has its good and bad things. Good as in a lot of things are so accessible now, and you don't have to worry about the unknown too much. You can just check on Google. You can check on social media stuff in the news and what have you. The bad thing is, well, there's a lot of bad things. Your face is in the screen a lot. Some people don't know how to walk without their phone in their face. And there are some instances, especially when I came back after I moved back to the US 2014, and I noticed a lot more people with their faces in their phone. And when you try to walk past them, they keep walking towards you and they barely notice that you're right in front of them until they finally look up and realize, oh, there's a shadow in front of me. I should probably move. And they still have their phone in their face. It's like, that is a freaking safety hazard if you're not careful enough in a public setting. People have gone to car accidents, pedestrians crossing the street because their phone is buried in their face. I try my best not to do that. Like, if I want to look at my phone and I see cars, I just look at the phone while I'm walking on the sidewalk. And then when I do have to cross, I put the phone away. I put it in my pocket. Then I walk. That's just me being old, but hey, man, it saves me so much trouble of going to the ER because I refuse to look up from my phone screen, you know? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's going to be ugly for a while. And another thing about doing art things, your work is going to be ugly and rough more than half the time. And some people don't like that. They expect things to be pretty and neat and clean early on. As soon as the rough draft, it's still neat and clean. You're going to be in a world of disappointment if you have that kind of expectation on yourself. You need to accept that things are going to be dirty and annoying. You can keep clean as much as you can, but in terms of the project itself, if it's going to be messy, accept it and just trust in yourself that you'll fix it eventually. Otherwise, this is probably not for you. So yeah, you have to be patient and really kind to yourself, which is not easy coming from a pessimist, former pessimist. No, I'm still quite pessimistic, but you try to give some level of hope that this will not be ugly in the end. But sometimes it still gets ugly. Oh, okay. See, I missed the spot. Thank you for the likes, by the way. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry they left. I was too engrossed in getting into all the little crevices in here. Ugh, Thanksgiving is showing up next week already. This year is almost over. And did any of you start on Christmas shopping? I tried to, but then I ended up giving the stuff that I bought as regular items to my family because they need clothes. I'm like, I could have had it as a regular gift and didn't tell them, but I was stupid. I was like, well, my family needs clothes and they don't ask for clothes. And so when I ask, hey, do you want any clothes? They're like, nah, I'm okay. But then they wear the same things a lot. And so I was like, I can get you an extra pair of that same outfit. But the other thing is you have to make sure it's still there. Sometimes they have it for a while, then they stop selling that item. That's why I need to know as soon as possible because they tend to take down things for some weird, annoying reason. And now I can't get them the favorite shirt that they like. I can't get them the favorite pants that they like because they waited too long. And now that I try to look for it, it's long gone, or the price got expensive for some weird reason, or they're on discount but they don't have their size. Yeah. So gift shopping is kind of yet another adult struggle. And I want to get nice things for my family, but my editor slash husband trumps me over that because, of course, he has more money. And then for me, I try to get things that they'll actually use. Because one thing is, nice things are good, but then if there's nowhere to put it and it's just cluttering up the house, it's kind of useless. Whereas something that they actually use, at least they're using it. So I kind of favor that, but I feel bad. I wish I can get them something really nice and they can enjoy it, but the space here is not entirely big. 51 minutes, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh. Okay, am I actually going to work on this? I probably should. Okay, since the original reference is pink, I want blue. I like blue. But I have to switch it up a bit. Or, I can do, let me think. Thinking. Do it more often or you get in trouble. So, while I can do the pencil work, sorry, I'm trying to get this freaking pen to charge and I'm making weird noises. It's not, well, it is me, but at the same time, it's not me. Oh my God. I command you to work. Okay, so okay, so I need to have some kind of outline, but it's quite messy. Yes, let's see how many things I did. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I do a lot of things at the same time. So if you're wondering why I don't finish things a lot, this is probably why. So let me do the ones I'm pretty sure I trust that it's a good image. But even if there is line art and I change my mind, I still have a chance to change it. So that's good at least. We could do a poinsettia there too, but let's just do that. Just to be, yeah, okay. Oh, that's a bit redundant. Okay, so, okay, I thought I was going to do a holly berry, but I changed my mind. This is going to be a Christmas bell, actually. That's also cute. Once in a while, I can do cute things, but not all the time. Okay, so there's one. Okay, now this pig. Do I give him that hat? I can give him a little hat. Anything I can talk about before I wrap things up? I don't know. I kind of messed up. Whoopsie doodle. Should I give him a hat? Well, he has a scarf already. Never mind. I thought the hat would be a cute thing, but I also don't want to give it half overkill, where he has too many accessories and then the other characters don't have anything. That's not fair. Okay, so we have two. Next. Oh gosh, Hangyo-don. Let me check the reference pile. Do. Maybe this one. Oh my gosh. Who gave him a butt? I might draw that one later. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, go away. Yeah, so I was way off with my drawing. Oops. But I always feel bad that they always draw him frowning, so I always give him a smile. Like, why not? I'm not a smiley type of person, but why not? Is that correct? I can still fix it. Oops, I made a mistake, but that's fine. I can still paint over it. I have chances. Okay, I don't know what to put on this guy. Fish are cold-blooded. What do they wear? They don't wear anything. Okay. Poor guy. I'll think about it later. But let me see. Spotty Dotty. I heard she was one of the least liked characters when she was first released. Like, not a lot of people liked her. I mean, they still tried, and she has a lot of merchandise, but for some reason, at the time, she was not considered popular. But recent years, I've heard that, oh, they're bringing her back. Bring her back. I like her stuff. And so I was like, oh, okay. And she kind of grew on me. When she first came out, I did not care for her either. Yeah, but I miss her, and I don't see too many characters that are Dalmatians. So I was like, okay, she's kind of cool. Why not? Does she have a Christmas wreath on her head? Is that correct? Probably not. Okay. Oh, okay, that's why I messed up. I had a geek out session on Instagram where I showed my old figurines and art projects made out of polymer clay and felted wool. And those were really fun to look at. However, they got sticky. I think what was it? The varnish or the top coat layer for protection, it was not good quality. Or I think it was Mod Podge. I'm not sure which one it was. But it made my work sticky. Like 2 figurines were sticking together, and that really pissed me the heck off. So I had to just make do with what I got and just showed my stuff without crying internally and outwardly. But it was really nice to see my old work and what I was capable of. But I also did not like that I used a varnish that did not hold out very well and got a lot of stuff sticking together. Not a good time. Maybe later in a live stream I could show it here. It could be a Christmas or December thing. Maybe. I don't know yet. I'll think about it. But that's, again, if anyone's interested. But I know they're not. I know the majority, how it rolls. But it'd be nice to show some. But at the same time, don't ask me to sell it just because I don't trust that it'll withstand the rough and tumble of delivery services, because polymer clay and me do not have a fun history together, just because I've had a whole bunch of instances where things broke, and that made me not very happy, and I would feel bad for the customers who wanted the cute object and they broke, and it seems like I don't know what I'm doing, and I kind of not, especially with polymer clay. I can only go so far, but once it leaves the house, it's out in the open. There's no guarantee it'll stay in one piece by the time it's arrived to its destination. So I really don't want to sell things that break when by the time it arrives to the person. That sucks. I would feel awful if that ever happened to anyone, even if they're a bad person, but it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. But for the most part, I would feel bad if I made something for someone, they gave me money, and when it arrived at their doorstep, it's like in pieces. I'd be so upset. That's why I don't do polymer clay stuff anymore. I don't sell them because I worry about the quality and the long-term sturdiness overall, because I am not very sure whether or not it will last long, and most times it can, but I have to be extra careful with it, and that's a bit of it's kind of stressful doing that. Okay, so I messed up her ear. Whoops. Not too. Okay, so I messed up. Her ear is a little bit lopsided, but I can still kind of fix it in theory. So actually it's supposed to be like this and like this. I messed up. Oop. But because I'm working with acrylic paint, I can get away with this most of the time in theory. Unless I screw up again, then that's totally my fault. Okay, so whoops, but there's something. He is lacking something, but I don't know what to put on him. Okay. Oh, it's already an hour. Okay, so maybe I will stop here because I could just go on and on and on. Okay. So what did I do? Not a lot. I didn't finish anything. It is what it is. But I just like to show that I am doing things, but it takes me a while to get them done because I do at least 4, 5, 6, 8 things at the same time. So I did dabble a bit on the water painting. This is just a practice sort of thing with water drops and blurry backgrounds against the window. Then I tried to start on the wreath, but then I realized there's a whole bunch of things I want to change, mainly the color. And originally I only had one character here, but then I did this instead. Hopefully it turns out okay, but if I don't like it, I still have a grace period of changing it back to my original idea or something entirely different. The world is my oyster in the shape of a wooden thing. I did not do any of these because I could not figure out what to do with them yet, but there will be ideas eventually. I did start on this before and during, but it was not very good. I did start on this and I gave it some green, but then I'm not sure whether or not I'll keep this bow red. There's a lot of red going on, but I can also change it to gold or silver or yellow or whatever. I don't know yet, but we'll see. And then I ranted a lot. Well, not ranted, just some things I noticed as I do art things that I don't really like talking about arts. I rather talk about anything else, even snippets of my life, rather than talking about art, because I don't hang around artists. I'm not an art major. And so when I do have the opportunity to talk to other artists and talk about art things, I got nothing. And I don't like faking it, using jargon and art jargon where artists would know what that is, but the lay people or the normal people, they don't know what that is. I don't want to do that because I've always been excluded and I don't like being left out of the loop and not knowing what people are talking about. But when it just turns out it's this, that's all we're talking about. It's like, then why do you have to use all that unnecessary words? You don't have to do that. Okay. So I just like talking about other things while I do paintings, and my step-to-step process, I don't really have a step-to-step process. So I just do what I can, wait for something to dry, wait for something to settle, and move on to another project I haven't been working on for a while. So that's basically what I do. That's why I don't like giving tutorials. I'm not going to be good at it. I'll just be honest about that. If for whatever reason someone would like a tutorial, I don't know who would, but if you do, just let me know in the comments or on Instagram DMs. Feel free to let me know. But yeah, that's what I got. And I will finish the rest off camera or have lunch, take a nap, whatever I feel like. So I think that'll be it for now. Thanks for even hanging out here with me. If you did, either during the live stream or after, I seriously appreciate it. Thank you so much. How you managed to watch all of it and not click away, I appreciate it. But if you did click away, I don't blame you. Okay. So that'll be it for now. I'm going to end it on this because if I don't want someone to come in and like, oh, I have to still keep talking. So that'll be it for now. I'll see you next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time as DeLeon, because that's me. I'll see you again next week. Okay. Bye-bye.